Hey, AfterBuzzers, it is the Catfish After Show, and tonight we're going to find out how many Lexes can you really have with one person. Here we go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, 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 little wash your hair, what?
A little bit. Let me get that.
Oh, wait, what is that, Lem?
I thought you was having a
This is my sexy son.
We know how Lem like to get down. We
My
know
sexy son.
how Lem likes
Don't hate on my sexy. Don't even try it. Yo, and the door is open. Like, so we're super loud. We need to get this door closed because then it's gonna be crazy. They're gonna be like, what are they doing in there?
Exactly.
With this sexy music and three dudes. Like,
Start this up.
It's for each Lexa. Lexi, Lexa, Alexa.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what it is.
What's up, everybody? Again, it is Catfish. I'm your host, Lem Gonsalves, the one and only After Show. This is how we get down tonight.
This music, though, see?
I can't.
Making you
I
feel
can't.
some type of
I
way,
can't.
Lem.
No, but I'm just like, because it's like, you know, normally we start off with some hip hop or something ratchet, and then it's like, this is like putting me in a different situation. So I feel like I just want to like lower my. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Catfish After Show.
Get that late night.
I've been your host,
voice
Lem
on.
Gonsalves. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's all I want to think. It's just confusing.
Lem After Dark.
It's confusing. Oh, man. Anyway, you can find me always on social media at The Poet Saint all day, every day. Of course, I got my boys with me. To my left is the one and only Jimmy V. Bear. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? See me and Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Be Your Own Dad. Holla at me.
Holla at ya. And of course, holding down the anchor, Mr. Hollywood himself came in a limo.
What?
Nino Llanera.
I drove myself in 2 hours of traffic because of Obama in the rain.
Right.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I had to put this song on because homie was just snapping away with a couple pictures.
Oh, yeah.
To Lexi.
Yeah, all the
Snap-
Lexi.
you know,
Snapchat me that.
Yeah,
What?
right?
Yeah, Brother Ray.
If it's
Brother
cool.
Ray.
If it-
Right. Brother Ray.
Brother
Yeah,
Ray.
we're going to talk about Brother Ray. Because,
We gonna
we're gonna
talk
speak
about
on Brother Ray.
yeah.
Because, yeah. And I'm going to tell you like this. Like, another thing about this particular episode is I was kind of disappointed. Just because I feel like this season, and we've mentioned this kind of every single episode, they kind of pulling out, you know, different things. We have different scenarios jumping off. You know, we've seen, you know, where it is actually the person, but it's just a misunderstanding. So it's just been different variations than kind of the same old, same old. And this, I kind of feel like they reverted back to the old, you know, what things were, and it was like really predictable. I mean, there was no element like, you know, when they went up to the house and it's like, and it's the girl and it's like, that's her. Right. It's like, oh, she's not here. Like, it's the same girl. And then Max is in the back like, that's a different girl. Like, when he's on the phone, it's like, it's the
voice.
same girl.
Yes.
Like, you know it's the same girl. Like, come on.
Lem, I completely agree with you. This episode, I am fed up because it's the same thing in 4 years, and you're still stuck under the same spell of Lexi, Alexa, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
It just gets me mad for Ray. That's all.
I think this was a buffer episode. You know what I mean? I feel like this is one of those because the season's really long with Catfish, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna have to be one or two of these in there.
Of these to kinda fill
and it's
in.
hard because it's like they don't do too much writing, you know, with the situation, right? It's reality TV in a sense or whatnot. But if they could have thrown in something even more crazy, like I said, with like a wig pull off and she comes out, she's like, "Hi, I'm Lexi. Hold on, let me get Alexa.
Hold
It's
on,
like
let me
another
turn
wig,
my-
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like that would be super entertaining, even though if it was
That'd be
fake. I don't care. Like,
Oh my god! I just was like, well, I think it was just a combination because it was like Ray, 19-year-old dude. He didn't really. There wasn't anything about him that made me want him to win. Like, I wasn't like, you know. So you see some of these guys or girls, and you know they're in this situation and they're really in love, and then you could tell they're in love, and they want to find out if this person is real, and they really want this person to be real. And with Ray, it was just like, I don't really feel you, bro. Like, I don't think you're really invested like like that. And then, you know, with her and like how that all went down, which we'll talk about, it was just like, and then like even her backup story, I was like, yeah, that didn't really.
Where's the damn violin at, man?
Yeah,
Little tiny.
it just wasn't. It didn't warrant what she
That's
did.
old.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't warrant what she did, and it was just like,
Thank you.
There we go.
there we go. That should have been the opening of the episode. So anyway, as we mentioned, it's Ray, 19. He actually lives in Vegas, and well, at the time when he wrote in, he lived in Vegas.
He should have stayed there.
I was
He's
gonna say,
old as
he
hell
shoulda-
in
yeah,
Chicago.
Yeah, he should have stayed in Vegas, and he probably would
With
have had
all
more
them gangs
opportunities.
over there, man. You better stay in Vegas.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, he should have stayed in Vegas. He's in love with a girl named Lexi, who he's been talking to for 4 years. So he's 19 and talking for 4 years. That's the other thing. It's like he's been talking to her since he's 15.
Yeah.
What do you know at 15? You know, like it's like that's why I guess why I just wasn't invested. I'm like, you don't really know anything yet. You're only 19 years old. You don't know what you know, like on that level, like the love is like what you're talking about, like what he's thinking.
And
does.
he wasn't. It wasn't a situation where I need to know because I want to move over, you know, across the country
Right,
for her or
right,
whatever,
right.
or be with her or whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
It was kind of just like I just want to know just to know
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've been talking to her for
He's
4
not.
years.
He's not even established in what he's trying to do
Yeah.
in life. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I just didn't have the investment like I did with some of the other people
Right.
we've seen on the show.
Right.
And so Lexi supposedly, again at the time he writes in, lives in Phoenix, and they've never video chatted.
Which
Okay.
it's 2016 now. 4 years ago,
Yeah.
or even if they shot this in 2015, 4 years prior, it's either 2011 or 2012, and you still can't get a video chat.
Well, again, and I keep going back, but a lot of times, and we've said this before, the people that get involved with these type of situations are very vulnerable. Something usually traumatic has happened, or they're, you know, in a bad spell in life, and you know they get associated with this person or connected to this person, and then yeah, they want a video chat or they want to see him in person, and the excuses that are given because they're still present and they're still accounted for and they're still talking every day. It's like, well, shoot, at least I can get that. At least I know they're there,
Right.
and it's just a matter of time, you know.
In this case, it was him being young. It really was. I don't think it was much of anything that had to do with his personal life or
Right.
whatnot. It was just him being young.
Yeah, no,
That's it.
that's really what it
Yeah.
was. That's really what it was. So by the time that Neve and Max call him, they found out that he's now in Chicago,
Yeah.
no longer in Vegas. Right, exactly. And Lexi is in Iowa. So he moved from Vegas to Chicago, okay, but then she moved from Phoenix, which is a kind of poppin' city,
Right.
to
Phoenix.
Iowa.
So Iowa.
Iowa.
I
What's
don't
in
even know
Iowa?
anybody who lives in
Right.
Iowa.
What is in Iowa? I do know somebody that lives in
you?
Iowa. I happen to.
Cast for the
They
Holy
weren't.
Ghost?
I will say this: they weren't. Yeah. They weren't from there, so they were transplants.
Gotcha.
But he's a truck driver, and then you know she does. I don't know what exactly she
settled
does.
some
but
there.
but
Gotcha.
it made sense for them. You know, I would not move there. I would never move there because there's nothing for me there. So my thing is, if I feel like people that are in most people in Iowa is because they were born and raised there. You know, that's what they know, and that's what they're.
Do you think she ever lived in Arizona?
Who knows?
Because they didn't really.
Actually,
You know what I mean? I don't know if they
I
touched
think
on
so.
that.
I think
Well,
so.
I think that she did only because
Later on, she
yeah,
says,
exactly.
I just moved here.
She said she
blah,
just
blah,
moved
blah,
here.
blah, blah.
That's
Yeah.
just such a weird tangent that they both moved
At the same
around that
damn
same
time.
area. You know what I mean? And like they're once again not too far away from each other.
And I think that was probably some of the attractiveness of them. Because it was
Gotcha.
like they lived here, they didn't get a chance to meet each other, and then they move across country, and then they're still like really fairly close.
It's fate.
right.
Fate.
It's fake.
Which prior to
Fake.
moving Vegas and Phoenix, they says about what 4 hours?
4 hours, yeah.
difference of away.
Oh, right.
And they
Difference
still
in
couldn't make it work,
Still could make it work. So again, I think this is a situation where Ray is just trying to see what's up. He's just trying to see what's up, and so you know he said when they turned 18. This is another thing that I was like, what? They started having fights, you know. So everything was good for the first 3 years, you know, honeymoon years, adolescent years, high school years, you know. So when they, I guess, became adults, then they started having fights and started arguing.
It's not like a
and-
cue. Like we're adults now, so we should fight because
we should
everyone
fight.
fights when they're adults.
Everyone fights.
Let's
I'm
go.
just saying. And then, according to Ray, Lexi tells him that she has 2 sisters. Alexia, and Lexa.
Great choosing the names too.
Right. So
let me just switch over this.
And then,
switch it over.
Right. But then wait, and then he said that they then spied. So fake accounts were made by the individuals to find out what he's doing. So it's like, first of all, I'm thinking like when they said that it was the 3, immediately I'm like, that's why I said it was kind of predictable. It's like, okay, it's the same person. It's the same person.
Right.
Also, it was like, that's just a way to divert the fact that you're catfishing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the whole like, oh, like I have 2 sisters and I really love my sisters, and then this person is like, oh, I'm telling da da da, and it was like a diversion. It's like smoke and mirrors. Right. It's like I'm gonna do this to that way you keep your mind off the fact that I'm not willing to meet you and I'm right down the street.
It's like a gateway to schizophrenia.
Yeah, and which is another
great way to put it.
Personality situation. Which at the time we didn't know that it was the same person, but I was just like, it's got to be the same person.
Right.
Like, come on now. So
I was waiting for those wigs to come off and move around. That was perfect.
Right. So they end up reaching out to a Jesse, who was connected to Alexia, right? And then he says that he was talking to her, but then stopped and then wouldn't meet up. So it was like a similar situation that our boy Ray has been going through. And then also it was said that she went by multiple names, which are the names as her sister.
Exactly.
So Jesse is experiencing, again, the same thing that Ray is experiencing. So that's kind of the inclination, like, okay, this is the same person. Like, let's really get it together.
And the Photoshop sign that says Jesse is a cutie.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, that was done really, really well, because I was looking at it. I saw the shadows in the hands, everything was done.
Right.
I was like, she could be a talented graphic designer when she grows up.
Crazy, multiple personality graphic designer.
She might be the only one like that in Iowa.
Right, exactly.
Money.
Hey, maybe so. I don't think there's a lot of them there. So they decide to call her, and they get her on the phone, and as always, she's hesitant. It's kind of like, I don't know, I don't know if I want to do this, and blah, blah, blah. But, she agrees to meet up. And so they fly over to Iowa, and Lexi is texting Nev, right, while they're on the way there, saying that she's scared.
Right.
So I think that was a moment where, again, it was her trying to pretend that she was really invested in this and really trying to play up the whole, like the fact that, because we know when she gets there, she says, oh, she's not here. Lexi's gone. And it's supposedly her sister. And who says that?
Not her blood sister, by the way.
Right. Oh, not her. Wait, that was good.
Remember
that was
good.
Right, that was good. Because the thing is, when you're in Iowa, there's nothing else to do, so you have time to think up all these excuses. So much. You got time to think of all these excuses. So she had already planned what she was going to say, what she was going to. So it's like they come up, and they're like, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? And when I saw her, and also the fact that she wasn't blurred out or anything like that, and she just came on, and I was just like, that's her, guys, come on, just call it out. And Nev kind of knew, but he was trying to be, politically correct. And, just kind of like, okay, let's ride this out.
He's like, we have to fill out our time slot.
Right, exactly. So let's make a few trips.
Let's drag this out sometime.
Right. So, the person that answers says that she's Lexa, right? And that Lexi, quotes, is not here. And so then later on, Nev, I think he says something like, are you, like, he's trying to find out.
Right.
And then she says, no, I'm her sister. And that's when I think we're not related by blood.
Right.
Right. Which is basically her excuse why she doesn't look like the girl in the pictures.
I was like, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. We got the same uncle. Like,
obviously.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So then to play it up even further, Lexi calls Ray and apologizes for not being there.
Yeah.
So this is just like, it's like this weave together web of deceit
and high-pitched voices.
Right. But it's not even good. Like, my thing is, I'm so frustrated. It's not even good because you listen to it and it's like, guys, it's the same one. And that's why I was frustrated, because Max is usually my boy.
Right.
Max is usually the one, he's the hater. When Nev tries to be like, okay, nah, he's like, Max is like, he's like, nah. Nah, you don't need to see that person. Nah, you messed up.
Right.
You are a bad person. Like, he just really calls it for what it is. Yeah. And this time, you know, you're listening to it, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, oh, it's different voice. It's different voice. I'm like, Max.
Gullible.
Max, come on,
But he
Max.
did come through at the end later, calling her out with that for the attitude situation.
He did. He redeemed himself.
He did.
He did redeem himself. But that was, I mean, you know, it was a suspect moment. It happens. But I'm just thinking, like, it's the same person.
Yeah.
Come on now. So, Nev goes ahead and calls Lexi, you know, the next morning. And then, you know, she tells him, come to the house. I'm really going to be here this time. And so they come, and then they, you know, she says,
it's round two.
Wait, the same girl's like, she's gone again. And I'm like, guys, you just talked to her. It's the same voice.
Mad.
Like,
I'm like,
I was pissed because my thing is, and I felt for Ray only because, like I said, I'm not investing in him, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you've been talking to a crazy person. Right. Like, you've really been wasting your time with a crazy person. And I feel bad that you wasted those prime adolescent years. You could have been doing something else.
My tolerance for playing games is at an all-time high, and when she said that, it just flipped my lid. I'm like, just stop it. Just stop.
Yeah, I was really done with her. Yeah. And so she said she's gone again, but then of course, you know, she comes clean, and because that's when Nev is like, well, let's talk to you.
Right. He was okay, time to probe.
Like, let's talk to you.
Right.
Like, she's not here again, so let me find out what's going on with you, because you're connected to her. You are her. That's what he wanted to say. But, you know, she talks to her, and of course she comes clean.
Yeah. Real name?
Right.
Mary Lana? What is it?
Marlena. Yes.
Yeah. Marlena.
And so, right.
Liar.
Right. Exactly.
So far away.
Yeah.
So far away. So far away. And my thing is, it's like, I don't understand why you would take the time to do that. Like, it was just too much for you to do to deceive somebody.
She needs a job.
It didn't. I mean, it just didn't. Like, what
She's
are you
an
getting?
Must be.
I don't know if that's what she's. Yeah, I don't know, but not even good. Because, like I'm saying, like, you know, we've seen people where it's like, you know, the. I wish. Can you put the live chat up? Because I want to see what other people are saying. People that chat, and if you want a live chat, please do. It's a hashtag ABTV Catfish, so we know what's cracking. But I want to know what other people are saying. My thing is, we've seen people where it's like women and they pretended to be men and they've been successful, or they've been another person and it's like it clearly is a different situation. But in this case, it's just like, yo, like, really, like.
It was super straight to the point. You know what I mean? Like it's just so easy to pinpoint and to guess this whole situation. I totally feel you in the whole like not invested in any of the situation. Right. I'm just like, I've seen this before.
Well, and that was the other thing too. It's like we've seen this too many times.
Right.
Too many times.
Just like old hat. Like, it's like, come on. And I'm thinking, like, when she gives her, you know, when she, you know, they sit down and they do the whole thing. And I thought it was interesting too that everything kind of happened all together. Maybe because they already made 2 trips.
Right.
So the budget like only lends for like 2 trips per show. So they already went once. And so they already came again. So like, we got to have to sit down now. There's no going back and dissecting. And
right.
Yeah, we got to have it down.
Nev's
so like,
MTV's going to kill me if we don't solve this situation right now.
Right now. So they immediately like, okay, let's figure this out. And so,
shout out to everybody in the live chat.
Shout out. I really want to know. Can you make it a little bit bigger? Yeah. And so, so she basically she seems perturbed. Number one, and this is the part where I'm just really like, okay, now I'm really done, because it's like, why are you upset? Like, why? Like, what reason right now? First of all, you live in Iowa. They came all the way to Iowa to find you, you know, to talk to you. You pretend, you put them on this wild goose chase saying that someone's not there when you're clearly there and you could have had a chance to come clean. Like, I don't understand.
And the nerve of her to have an attitude about it.
Right.
That's why I'm glad Max called her out.
I love that
it's
part.
Like,
yeah.
Why do you have an attitude?
Yeah.
You're the bad guy.
Yeah,
like,
right.
what?
Like, literally, the eye rolling, like, for real. That was like every second. Like, every second she was like rolling her eyes some way, somewhat. You know what I mean?
And I'm just like, what are you doing? Right. You're in Iowa. Like, where do you have to go? Where do you have to go? Is the roller rink, like, is it like a special night at the roller skating rink that you're going to miss out?
Walmart might have a sale,
I mean, and all your personalities got to get.
I'm not even lying. Shop at Walmart. So no,
oh, no.
Nothing wrong with Walmart.
No, there's nothing wrong with
now,
Walmart. I'm just saying, like, really, where you got to go.
Yeah.
Like,
where,
like, stop it. You know, so the fact that she was upset, and it didn't make any sense whatsoever. So I'm glad Max did call her out. She does explain her past. And again, not that I didn't buy her story, like I believe what she was saying. I just didn't think it warranted what she did.
Right.
Of course, two wrongs don't make a right, and
Never.
she was doing the same exact thing
Right.
that had happened to her, because she said as a kid she got teased. I kind of felt for her as she said, "Oh, you're too black,"
Right.
Comments like that definitely put down your self-esteem.
Oh, sure,
but
sure.
don't flip around and go do it to someone else.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I get the whole bullying. She talks about being bullied and why she put up the profile that she used. Lighten her skin or whatever. And I mean, as an epidemic, and it's interesting that this episode aired when it did, because I watched Black Girls Rock, which was on.
I saw that too.
Yeah, BET.
Yes.
Right. And I watch every season. I mean, every year. Excuse me, because it's usually dope. It's really dope. I love Tracy Ellis Ross. She's always a great host.
That opener.
Yeah, that opener was
killed
great.
it.
really good.
Yeah, that opener was dope.
Beyonce.
And I actually liked her by herself, because normally she's with Regina King, and Regina King's dope too. But I liked her, because they try to play with each other, but she's just so much better at doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the opener was crazy, but I like the fact, because some of the themes, that recurring themes that were coming up is about the color of your skin, and being a black girl, and also being a dark skinned black girl, and kind of what happens, because it's almost like you could be bullied or talked about from people from other races, but then it's the light skin versus dark skin,
right.
and and that happens internally within the races, and to get that, I remember in the '80s Elder Barge, we was talking about Chris Brown, the Elder Barge throwback, Elder Barge, I'll Be Sure, Christopher Williams,
right.
come on, this is when I was coming up. Light skin was it. Light
Right.
skin was it. R&B. Oh, put on some Christopher Williams right now.
Dark skin back.
But I mean, that was the thing, and it was like that whole oh, I'm light skinned and I got good hair, and you're dark skinned, you not look good, and it was really a problem,
Right.
and it still is a problem. It still is a problem, and especially and we saw this, and with her, she was kind of talking about that. So I did empathize with that. Again, I don't think it warranted her doing what she did, because to me, wasn't the cause. It wasn't a cause effect situation.
Right, and because the situation be that she started feeling better about herself as she got a little older.
Right.
As she basically came into herself, and and knew that she didn't have to stand for that or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yet she still played along with the situation. You know what I mean? She said when she got to 16 or 17, she felt a little bit better about herself. She could have stopped it right there. Then why did you keep on going with the situation?
Right.
I definitely feel bad for her, and I definitely feel her. In the Filipino American Asian community, light's always great as well too. On TV or whatever.
Sure.
It spans from many races and many ethnicities, right?
Absolutely.
So I felt her, but I just felt after you started feeling better about yourself,
Right.
and not caring about what other people think as long as you're happy.
Right.
Why did you still continue to do this for 2 more years?
Exactly.
4 years is a long time. Even when you're younger, 4 years is a long time. Especially if the conversations that you're having are a little bit more deep. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It makes all the sense. It makes all the sense as far as why she would have done it at the beginning, and then now it's a situation. You're putting up the screen of us. I was trying to get the
Engineer, I was
there
going
you
to
go. There we
ask
go.
if it's possible to even print out the comments.
Oh no,
Actually, no. Okay. This
I
is
think Catfish run is coming to an end. Oh, y'all.
Oh wow,
Okay.
that's what people are saying.
Yes.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, it's perfect.
All right, so for those at home, right now we just pulled up the live comment section for our video here, and we're just looking over them now,
Right.
just to see what the.
So this is a
people
consensus
are saying.
here.
And the people at home are pretty much agreeing with us. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, so
There you
There we
go.
go.
shout out to Andre Griffins. I think Catfish's run is coming to an end. It's too hard to keep finding unique stories. Yeah,
It is.
I mean, there's.
We agree, yeah.
I mean, I think definitely the show itself is one of those situations. Which why last season I was kind of like, I don't know if it could go another season. Which is why I was thankful, because they were finding different situations
Right.
happening. But I think it is going to come to a situation or come to a point where you're just not going to be able to catfish anymore. There's just too easy to find out people's real identities. I don't find out, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's the issue. I think it's the issue of the person involved in the catfish. If they are ready to be honest with themselves and realize what is actually occurring.
Right. But again, I'm going back to the fact a lot of people, well, okay, we'll put it like this. When it first came out, there was a lot of things that people didn't know how to do. Like people were getting catfished, and it was a technology situation where they didn't have the technology or didn't understand how to work it to do the research that Neve and Max would do. Yeah. Now you fast forward, I think they have to do it, but I will say I agree with you. The technology is there now. They just choose not to.
That's right.
It's a situation where they choose not to. And I think that that's never going to change because there's always going to be people that are insecure. There's always going to be people that don't want to be true, or don't want to, bite the bullet and figure out what's going on and in themselves, get up in these situations. So I think it's going to come to the point where there's going to be people that are always going to be catfish. But how interesting is it going to be?
Right. What other take can we see it in? You know what I mean? What other light can we see it in or whatnot? Right. Somebody did mention their new show, The Suspects, here. And it was Oreo Love Babe 20. Their Suspects show questions our intelligence very hard. LOL, not good. I'm thinking that they started this new show, Suspects, because catfish might be on a back burner where it might be on its way out soon. You know what I mean? So they want to continue. They're smart. They're businessmen. You know what I mean? They're trying to produce more and more shows or whatnot. Absolutely. And maybe Suspects might be it. I haven't caught an episode yet, but it looks intense just from what I see on the previews or whatnot. Right. I mean, people are like prostitutes or strippers, and their significant other or their good friends want to know what's going on, and they're suspect.
What I think, I think they took the whole idea of with catfish. You are hiding something, and they just took that out of being relationship-wise into actual real life.
Exactly.
And now that's what
because that's the point, right? Because that's the point of the episode where everyone's like, we want to know the real truth. We know there's a catfish involved or something's happening or whatnot, but we want to know why that person's catfishing. I think that's why people connect with it more. So Suspects is here. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess.
We'll see. And speaking of Suspects, it appears everybody in our section here is loving the idea of Suspects. So
it could be. And Neve is on that show too, right?
Yeah. This is Neve's.
No, Max. Oh no. Who's gonna keep it real?
Right. So it'll be interesting after the season where it goes from there if MTV decides, because obviously they would have to be filming now,
right?
If there was going to be a new season, and I haven't heard anything that it was ending, but it would make sense that if they decide, depending on how ratings are or how the stories go and how interesting they can find or what have you, because when we had the casting director, thank you, and he was on the show a couple of seasons ago, he was kind of giving the business of how, and they get thousands,
right? I can just imagine
a day. Thousands a day.
Hello.
Yeah. It's crazy. So, but it's so much to weed through to get actual stories that they could use. Some people just use it just to get on TV, which they actually did an episode where people did that, and they aired the episode. They just did it to get on TV.
I remember something on MTV. I was MTV Spring Break with Jerry Springer, and this one couple basically fooled Jerry Springer for real.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
This is I'm totally aging myself because this is back then.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
Before his time. You see this? You see this?
Young, but you and freaking Ray, Young Bucks over here.
Which is why I'm mad, because Ray is making my generation look bad. Come on, Ray, man. Smarten up, man.
So think you would have better sense.
Right. Exactly. But look at it for what it is. You look at it for what it is. I think for him, I think it was a situation where he got in, when he was young, and it was cool, and then, it just, you develop over time, and I think his emotions got more involved as time progressed.
Of course.
And as you become an adult, and it's like, wow, I've known this person for 4 years.
The maturity level
it's got to be something there, but then, them not being, who they really are, kind of putting you off and not willing to meet and all these kind of things. Also, he did say a lot of what, because they're like, how can we try to meet? He's like, I was in high school. I didn't have the means to just get up and go. And that's an interesting point, because it's like some of these people, they're older, so they do have the means, already working or whatever. He was like, I was in school.
Right.
I can't just tell mom, hey, mom, I'm going out for the weekend, to another city.
Right.
I'll see you when I get back. Like, nah.
What job did he get to be able to move out to Chicago like that, though? Like, what? Like, you're so young. I'm like, what? What
Yeah, I did. And when he said that, he was there for work, and I'm like, what work are you doing? He never said what it was, but I mean, he's only being 18. I can't imagine, like, it's got to be a small window of job opportunities, you know, to move somewhere.
Right. And it's funny because, you know, we see everything, living in Los Angeles and whatnot, we see everything like in such a big light, and there's like everything has to go in order and whatnot, and we forget that these people who live in other states, you know, and like the situations that they go through is like everything's totally different.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that can be an emotional situation as well too, and like how they act the way they act, because I feel like people are less likely to be catfished in the West Coast, California, or New York or something like that because of what we see every day, you know, how we interact every day, and just
you mean because there's so much going on?
Yeah. Because if you notice, a lot of the people who have been getting catfished are not from really big cities. You know what I mean?
It is a lot of people that live in rural communities, or again, you know, places are not going. Either they do, or so the other person does. So it's kind of like there's not a lot going on. So it's easy to, you know, go online and meet people that way. That is a good point.
To fall for a situation.
You know what? Actually, I did want to mention there's a constant trend in every episode we've seen. The catfisher messages whoever first. Sign. If they message you first. I'm not saying you're not all that attractive. I don't know you, but if they message you first and you click on their profile and there's only 1 or 2 pics, that should be your first sign off the bat. Like, where'd you come from?
Right. And I think that's where it comes back to the whole being in a vulnerable situation. Because I can imagine you made that point where they are the ones that usually initiate the conversation. They probably initiated with multiple people. That particular person is the one that bit.
See who bit.
And then now
back,
it's like,
and now you see where you end up at.
It's like you know, being on freaking
Tinder,
and it's like you just swipe everybody. You just swipe everybody without looking at the picture, and then see who matches. Oh, they match. Oh, they look good. Okay, and then you start the conversation or whatever. So it's kind of you playing the numbers at that point.
I thought I was the only person that did that.
I didn't say I did it. I just was making a point.
I'm guilty.
I was making a point, but anyway, no. But no, I mean, I think that's a situation, and they reach out, and then that person's in a vulnerable situation, and they start, you know, and then you mesh up, and then it kind of turns into, because if you think about it, a lot of times, in a lot of cases, and I would say most cases, once the person that is the catfisher, they tend to be like, oh, it just went too far. You know, they started being that way, you know, because maybe they had some issues going on or
That's
whatever. But then it all of a sudden they come to their senses and like, what can happen with this? You know, I've been lying to this person for so long, but they have to keep up the lie because if they come clean, they're going to lose that person that they've now been connected to.
Right. Does every catfish like have like a doc file on their computer? Like, this is what I told him today. This is what I told her today. Don't forget this.
It's got to match up.
Imagine if you put that much effort into like school. Or something like.
Well, some of these people like that have been on this show as catfishers like are really, really smart because they've done like some major like MacGyver type, you know, PI stuff where
MacGyver.
We're just dating ourselves all. Right? I talked about freaking Elder Bards. Right. I was talking about MacGyver.
I'm waiting for you to say Knight Rider.
Right. Muppets. No Muppets. One Muppets game came back. Yeah, Knight Rider was the bomb.
I know.
Knight Rider was the bomb.
I wanted that car.
Man, kid, shut up. Talking car, shut up. Shut up. Anyway,
I just wanted to say, guys, I'm a huge fan of J. Cole, and he says if you put as much effort into class as you do chasing ass, you'll be famous and rich. Boom. So stop chasing ass. Put your brain to class.
Okay, well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show.
Yeah.
J. Cole has spoken. What happened?
We have an interesting comment, guys.
What happened?
Olivia O. She said her friend catfished the guy, and he actually reached out to her. So,
it was a different situation.
Well, thank you, Olivia O.
Shout out to all you guys on the chat.
Thank you.
Right. Shout out to everybody.
And that has happened too. I've seen that, but I just said, and I was going back. Most of the time, it is a situation where the catfisher reaches out. And then that person bites.
Most of the time, that's right.
Yeah, most of the time.
Has it happened to you? Do we have another Lem story?
No, there's no story.
Lem story, type 1. Type 1 now.
I'm trying to give you all these stories.
Tweet us, type us, whatever you want to do.
It's time to go. The show's over. Ladies and gentlemen, engineer, bring the music right now. Show's over. I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can find me all the time, every day, all day, on social media at the Poet Saint, and make sure you continue the conversation. Appreciate the people in the live chat. When this is uploaded on YouTube, make sure you comment and let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about this episode. Let us know what you think about Catfish in general. If you have some stories, that'd be cool. We'd love to hear about them, and maybe we'll talk about them on the show.
Yeah.
Word. Jimmy, where you at, boy?
You know, it's your boy Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Be Your Own Dad. I do have a blog, BeYourOwnDad.blogspot. Stay up to date with everything I'm doing as well as what's popping in the world. What's up, Nino?
There we go. Once again, y'all, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thanks again for talking with us on the chat and tweeting us and hitting us up all the time. We love hearing your comments, so keep it going, y'all. Peace and love. Thank you so much, y'all.
All right, we out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.